Hello friends, so in this video I will talk to you about why it is extremely important to start saving as young as possible. Now the reason I'm making a video on this topic is because this is something which is not commonly accepted or understood by many young folks out there. And the reason is primarily two, which is one, they think they are young, this is their time to spend as much they can, and so whatever they're earning, they'd rather just spend it out because they won't want to hold on to spending money once they are older. So this is one. Someone in their 20s wants to spend everything that they're earning and just enjoy life because retirement is just too far away. And second, why save and only spend when you're older rather just spend when you're younger and you have more life in you. And second is the understanding that currently when you're young, your income is less. When your income is less, probably you won't be able to save a lot. And given the amount of saving that you would be doing on monthly basis would be small, you go like, it's so small, why does it matter? How about I just spend everything that I can save because it's very small, it won't make a dent. And I rather just spend it out, enjoy, and I start saving once I start earning more. And that could be in, let's say, in 10 years time, once I'm in my 30s, I could start saving more money because now I'm earning more in terms of my income. But now I'm young, I'm earning less. Hence, I'm able to save less. If I'm saving less, I'd rather just spend all my money. So in this video, I will talk about why it is important to start saving as young as possible and how to be able to bust these two myths, which is one, I'd rather just enjoy life now. And second, the amount of my money that I'm saving is so little, it won't make a dent. It will make a dent. And here is why, and here is the math behind it. Now, one call out before we move further in the video. One, press the like button as this keeps me motivated. Second, press the subscribe button along with the bell icon so you get notified as soon as I put a new content on this channel. On this channel, I post content pertaining to financial and career success for early and mid-career professionals. Also, if you want me to continue making unbiased content like this, you can support me on patreon.com. I will leave the link to my Patreon page in the description of this video. Now let's get rolling back into the video. So the early you start saving, more time will you have. So for instance, if you start saving at age 20, you will have, let's say, 30 to 40 years, depending when you want to retire. Let's say you want to retire at age 50. So you will have 30 years of compounding. And in the equation of compounding, time is the most powerful factor. But if you start saving at age 30, you will only have 20 years. Now you must be thinking, you know what, I will be saving more when I'm in my 30s because I have more income. And I will be saving less in my 20s. So I rather stop saving in my 20s, not save at all, and only save when I'm in my 30s. And guess what? Since I will have more income, I can just save slightly more and then would be able to reach the target that I have or that I intend to reach at age 50. Well, guess what? That number is not slightly more. It is 3 times more. So here's how the math works. Let's say you start investing $500 per month when you turn 20. Which is around $6,000 a year, and you invest it in S&P 500, which pays off, let's say, 10% return on ongoing basis. This is kind of the return that S&P 500 has seen in past 20 to 30 years, and we can expect the same return to happen in future as well for the sake of this example. So you invest $600,000 every year starting age 20. So by the time you reach age 55, you will have $2 million with you. Now you decide, I'm young. I don't want to save this $500 every month, rather I will just enjoy this money and spend it out. And I will start saving when I reach the age 30. Now for you to reach the same retirement age, which is, let's say, $2 million at age 55, you know you'll have to save more. But you go like, okay, fine. Instead of saving for 30 years, I only save for 20 years. How much extra do I have to save? Maybe twice? No, it's not twice. It's thrice. So instead of saving $6,000 per year, which is $500 per month, now you will have to save $18,000 per year starting at the age 30. So you can reach $2 million by the age 55. This is 3 times more than $6,000. And on per month basis, this would mean $1,500. So instead of just saving $500 every month from age 20 to age 55, now you have to save $1,500 every month from age 30 to age 55. So you're like, okay, fine, I'm starting late. So yeah, of course I have to save some extra. Maybe it's not twice, it's thrice, that's fine. But here is another catch in the mathematics. If you're only saving $6,000 a year, starting age 20 to age 55, in totality, you only had to save and invest $216,000. Okay, fine. But now, since you're starting at age 30 and you have to save more, which is $18,000, and for you to reach $2 million by age 55, in totality, you will have to save $468,000. It is more painful. It is much easier to save $216,000 and reach the same goal at age 55 as against saving $468,000 and be reaching the same goal, which is $2 million at age 55. Now let's understand how does the math work this way and why is it beneficial to save early versus saving later. Why is that when you're saving early, you have to save less cumulatively, while if you're saving later, you have to save more cumulatively? The reason is behind compounding. So let's say when you invest $100, you earn a 10% return on those $100. So after a year, your $100 will become $110. Now, the next year when you're investing, you're not just investing $100, you're investing that $10 as well. So you invest your $100, the $10 of interest that you earned last year, and then this year again you invest another $100. Now you are earning an interest on 110 plus 100, which is 210, a 10% interest on $210, which is $21. So the year 3, you will be investing $210 plus the $21 that you've earned as an interest plus another $100. So every time you keep investing back the interest that you've earned, that interest earns more interest. And that is where the benefit of time comes, because you give more time for that interest to keep earning interest, keep increasing in size, and keep compounding. While if you have a shorter time frame, you just have to rely on saving more because you won't get the magic of interest making an interest on itself. Now, talking about the second factor, it is not just a numbers game. It is also a means to create a habit or a process. So when I started my career, I knew that this income or the salary that I'm earning, only 80% of that income is for me to use. The balance 20% is not mine. It just goes in a saving and investing account. And I knew it very early on, since the day I started earning. So I was in a habit of creating this system for myself where I would just save 20% of whatever I was earning and invest it. If I had not started it at age 20 and let it just pass by, and by age 30, I was like, okay, now I have not saved anything and I need to start this discipline of saving, it would be much harder for me to start that discipline. Again, it is much easier to save a smaller amount. Let's say I'm earning $1,000 a month. It is very easy to save 20% of that $1,000 because it is only $200 that I need to save. Very easy for me to save that. Versus I have not been in that practice. I have never had that point of view and come in my 30s now when I have more liabilities, more expenses, and I have more commitments. Suddenly I have to save some money, which is 20%. And 20% of a bigger amount of bigger income is harder to save versus 20% of a smaller amount. So start early so you can develop that habit, that practice. The other angle is, which young people usually talk about, is I'd rather spend money when I'm young versus trying to spend money when you're old. Guess what? For you to be happy, for you to enjoy life, you really don't need to spend money. You can travel for as cheap as possible. Like you're single, you're alone, just a backpack, and you can travel everywhere. With me, I have a family, I have 2 kids, I have to travel with them. There is an expense around it with kind of things I have to buy for them, for us to travel, how to engage them, how to keep them busy. So every vacation is a big expense, is a big planning for me. But if I was young, I was not married, I didn't have kids, it would be just a backpack, taking a train ticket, and that's it. Now I have to take a flight because I also have to be there and come out of there as early as possible when I'm traveling with my family. Second, I also have other commitments at my workplace, in the city I'm living, and so on and so forth. So there are so many commitments, there is so many liabilities that I have, that is very difficult for me to really curtail the expenses when I'm trying to enjoy it in terms of having entertainment or having vacation, stuff like that. Now, of course, I can also enjoy by not going on vacation, and there are other means as well, and there are cheaper means. But what I mean to say is, when you're young, there are more cheaper means to enjoy and entertain yourself versus as you start to get old. As you start to get old, comparatively, you'll have to spend more in order to enjoy versus what you can do when you're younger. Again, I'm just speaking comparatively. Of course, as I said, you can still enjoy life by not committing a lot of money or spending a lot of money. However, on comparative basis, you can enjoy life much more at a cheaper rate when you're young. So you really don't need to think that I need to spend all this money or the extra money that you can save just to be happy. There are so many other ways you can be happy just by being frugal and by being cheap. Number 3 is when you're saving, it helps you avoid debt, because you get in that mentality where you know that you have to save money, and if something bad happens, let's say you lose a job or your car breaks down or some health issues, now you have certain savings in your bank account to make use of versus going into debt, versus taking a credit card debt, which is very expensive to take. So you will never be in a situation where you will have to take up debt. Again, because you can simply rely on the savings that you have. So if you are in a habit of saving, if you have kept that money on the side, as soon as something bad happens or life gets tough, you can always tap into those savings. Now, the idea is as soon as you tap into those savings, you use them, you get out of the problem you are, but start to replenish those savings back. Again, because in future, again, something bad can happen, or if nothing bad happens, then you save that money in order for you to reach financial freedom as soon as possible. And here comes the 4th part, which is reaching financial freedom as soon as possible. And note, when I talk about financial freedom, I don't mean retirement, because retirement, I can picture someone who's like in their 80s doing nothing, just reading newspaper. That sounds boring. By financial freedom, I mean being able to choose what you want to do, when you want to do, with whom you want to do, what you want to do, at what time you want to do. This is freedom. Having that freedom, and it can come at any age. So the earlier you start and the earlier you try to reach that freedom, it's better. I'm trying to reach that freedom as well. My target goal is to reach that freedom in next 5 to 6 years. This doesn't mean I will be very old in next 5 to 6 years having that new newspaper. Rather, I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of activities planned already, some of which I've started, but I have things like YouTube. YouTube is one activity that I would like to continue and expand more once I have more freedom, once I have more time. Now I have a 9-to-5 job. So usually it's the weekends where I take out time in order to create these videos. But imagine if I am not relying on that 9-to-5 job because I'm financially free. Suddenly I have all the capacity and time that is available that I can invest in doing something which I'm passionate about. So essentially, the earlier you start, the sooner you will reach the point where you're financially free, and hence you can choose to do whatever you want, whenever you want, whoever you want to do it with. That is financial freedom. So net, I encourage you to start today, even if that means you are very young, the amount that you will be saving is very small, but start today. 1, have a goal in mind that this is what you think means for you to be financially free. What is that amount? Then start budgeting and see how long will it take for you to reach that amount. So this is my budget for the month. This is how much I will be saving, and if I will be saving this amount, how much will it take for me to save this amount, or how long will it take for me to save this amount in order for me to reach the financial goal that I've kept for myself. Now, I have a separate video where I talk about how you can go about making a budget and why making a budget is very important. You can check out that video here. Another pro tip is to automate your savings. So instead of you getting the entire bill or check or cash in your hand and then you taking out some money from it and putting it in the drawer for saving, how about you automate it in a way where as soon as it hits your account, it gets deducted and goes in your investment account. From there, it can automatically get invested. So you don't really have to think about this process. This process should be just automated. And for you, you should just know that whatever your salary number is, only 80% of that is yours. The 20% is for your future self. It is all automated in terms of how it gets saved, how it gets invested. So you don't have to think about it. All you need to think about is the 80% that you're earning. Just enjoy the hell out of it and don't think about the 20%. And lastly, start small. Even if that means you can't today save, let's say 20%, you can only save 15% or 10%. Start with that versus waiting for, again, when I will start earning more and when I can take out that 20% from my account, only then I will start saving. Now, 20% is an ideal number for you to save, but if you cannot save 20% for any reason in the early years, it's fine. Start with 15, start with 10, but start with something so you can benefit from the time in the compounding equation, and second, develop that habit. Thank you for watching this video. In case you found this video valuable, I'm sure you'll find another video on my channel very valuable where I talk about how I personally plan to reach financial freedom. So here's my journey to reach financial freedom. There is another video on my channel where I talk about what are the best stocks that you can choose in the stock market to invest and grow your portfolio. You can check out that video here. Thank you.